Hello there, Dr. Andy Toy here from Keep Calm and Carry On Aligning. I want to spend a few minutes with you thinking about what the benefits are of a trained, competent, confident TCO, treatment coordinator. You could write a list as long as your arm, of course, but I think here are the three main ones that are most important to me anyway. Number one, we get more case acceptance. More patients say yes to our best treatment plans. Number two, the level of patient satisfaction definitely goes up. And I also know that the risk of having a complaint definitely goes down as well. And then finally, I know as a practice, we're going to make more profit. However you define that profit to be, whether it be more money, whether it be more time, or whether you can sleep better at night because you've got a much better consent process with these patients. So let's have a look at those three things in a bit more detail. In terms of case acceptance, we know that patients find that buying dentistry is a risky business. They feel like it's risky. Of course they do. You know, they're about to spend maybe thousands of pounds with you. They're going to sit in a weird chair. They're going to have things prodded around in their mouth. It could be painful. It's definitely going to feel different at the end of it. Will it feel better? Will it be better for me? Does this dentist know what they're doing? Will they hurt me? There's all sorts of anxieties associated with that. And that's a major reason why people don't go ahead with what we know to be the best dentistry. So what we do with the TCO is we're going to reduce that anxiety. We're going to build the trust that's required for them to take the leap and say, yes, please, I'll have that treatment. Because there's always anxiety involved. And in order to get the patients to a position where they feel like they can say yes, is they really, really need to trust you and the practice. Now, building that trust takes time. And even if you have all the time in the world, the patient will be sitting there in that chair thinking, I don't really want to be here. That's a busy person at the end, on the end of this chair. And even if I do stay here, it's going to cost me more. So the patient doesn't really want to spend time with you either. And yet we know you need to spend time. So why not delegate to a confident, competent treatment coordinator who will start that patient relationship, who will become that patient's advocate, who will be able to be the one that really builds trust, can sell you and your services. And we know when that trust is there, you're going to get more case acceptance. So all that money you're spending on marketing right now, that's far more likely to be converted into patients accepting your best treatment plans. It won't be wasted. Let's think about patient satisfaction, because maybe they've said yes, okay, which is great. And then you get to the end of treatment and you've not met their expectations. What happens then? They're not happy. You feel terrible. Your nurse feels terrible. And you probably got to do a whole lot of remedial stuff to try and get them back up to a place where they are happy. And, you know, what are they going to tell their friends? Oh, you know, it was great until we got to the end and then it wasn't what I expected. So if they are going to say yes, you want to make sure you truly understand their expectations and that you've managed those expectations. And you need to spend time on that. Or maybe you don't need to spend the time, maybe your TCO does, because the TCO will know the patient better than you. The TCO will be able to draw that patient out to ask questions better than you ever can. And they will find out what their level of expectation is, and they will help you under-promise and over-deliver. And when you under-promise and over-deliver, you exceed their expectations. That's when you're going to get all those referrals of their friends, family, colleagues. And that's free marketing, isn't it? So can you see that the greater the patient satisfaction after they've said yes, when you finish the treatment, the more likely you are going to grow your dental business. And of course, the flip side of that is Greater patient satisfaction means less complaints. So less risk of you having to deal with that, less risk of bad news getting out in the community, or less risk of them going to a lawyer or the GDC. So really working on that consent process, under-promising, over-delivering by exceeding their expectations really builds patient satisfaction. And that takes time. So delegate that. Delegate that to a trained and competent, confident team member. Then the third great thing about the TCO, as I said, is the profit. You know, we do have to make a profit. We've invested lots of ourselves into our practices over years and years of training, buying equipment, keeping up to date, all of those things. We give us a lot of ourselves, and we should get some profit out of that. So using a TCO is going to save you time, and your time is valuable. And even if you've got enough money, maybe it is more time that you want. And even if you've got enough time, maybe you want to sleep better. Maybe you want the joy of having really satisfied patients where you've exceeded their expectations because you've delivered an incredible, robust, consent and ethical sales process. What's not to like? Now, if you think you would like to introduce that into your practice, why not get involved with our TCO Blueprint program? It's a sort of apprenticeship program to get you started and get a competent TCO in place. If you think that's a great idea, speak to Tracy Barnett, our lead TCO trainer, and she can start you off on that journey. She can help you explore all the potential that you have to create an incredible patient journey.